Yeah. Knock, knock, knocking on Theobald's door.
Yeah.
Oh, we're live.
We are live. It's true. Yeah. How you doing, Greg?
Good. Christmas
Yeah.
could be over. I'd be okay with that.
There we go.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
There's a Amazon's still crazy enough to be delivering right now, apparently.
Is it snowing by you?
It is not snowing, my bee, but
It has
everything
snowed.
up here is coated in ice.
Oh, okay. Whoops.
And the
It was 7 degrees here today. Celsius.
Oh.
I don't know what that means.
It
It
was
could be like
colder.
93.
I think it was
degrees
colder here.
Fahrenheit.
Yeah. It means it wasn't cold. That's kind of what I'm getting at.
Oh.
It was actually like, well, unseasonably warm.
I see.
Do you see?
I do. Hello and welcome to episode 841 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, December 27th, 2022. I'm your host, Chris Johnston, and with me, as always, from Canada is Mr. Greg Seward.
Hello.
My God.
Was it loud again?
Very loud suddenly.
I didn't do anything to it.
Okay, well,
Sounds fine to
you
me.
say that. You say that. I'm
I
not
say
sure
that because it's
believe
true,
it.
jerk store.
CJ, you were having all these audio video problems before
Yeah.
the show.
Let's not talk about me. Let's
You
talk
sure
about
this isn't
your
a
problem
player?
and my problem with you.
Don't hate the player.
My goodness.
Oh, and joining me from the great state of Washington, Mr. Theobald.
How's it going?
Going okay.
Good.
Yeah.
We're iced over here. We can't leave.
Iced over, you can't leave. Okay. Yeah.
The Seattle area
Yeah.
was hit with a winter storm last night that has completely iced over everything.
Oh,
So like,
not where I am.
well,
How
that's
far
'cause
away are you, CJ? Because you guys used to live pretty close to one another, but now every time you talk about
he's way south of me.
I'm way
Okay.
south now. I'm
Yeah.
like, an hour and a half away from where Phil is.
Yeah.
At least. So,
Yeah.
was that one of the reasons you purchased the house you did?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Mhm.
Proximity
Get away from the smell.
from Phil. Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
smell looks pretty mean.
Stank.
But
Yeah.
the Seattle proper and surrounding areas, it's just ice. We
Nothing
just
but ice.
a Amazon person just showed up,
That's
and it's like I'm supposed to be. I was expecting a FedEx package today,
uh-huh.
which was on the vehicle for delivery, and has since gone to.
Sorry, we can't do it.
Well, it's gone to delivery date pending. Which
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
please
It's gone to.
pend-
Have you looked outside?
penned away. I would rather FedEx delivery people not die trying to get me whatever it is.
Some kind
but-
of Lego thing, no doubt.
I think it's a holiday gift from my company.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But
Mm.
but I would rather people be safe.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
so
Yeah.
hopefully they don't deliver that until road conditions improve.
Yes.
Because, it is we do not have enough salt in this area
No,
to de-ice these roads.
that's true. I bought a shovel for the first time in a long time.
Congratulations.
And, some salt.
Where'd you go? Did you go to the shovel store?
I went to Lowe's.
Okay.
For
Do
the
they carry a lot of
salt.
that
And
stuff?
I went to Amazon for the shovel.
Oh, you bought an Amazon shovel.
Bought an
I can't
Amazon
imagine
shovel.
I can't imagine the supply of road salt at Lowe's would be that high where you are.
It actually wasn't too bad, but
Really?
I went in like early November and bought it. So it was fine.
Oh, you beat the rush.
I beat the rush.
I
That's
gotcha.
right. Got a Tickle Me Elmo and salt at at Lowe's. They sell a lot of weird stuff there.
That's still the hot Christmas item
It's
this year.
I may have time traveled back to 1997.
How much did you pay for that shovel?
This is a bizarre conversation.
Oh no, wait, the shovel you got online. I'm sorry,
Yeah, the shovel I got from Amazon. I don't know. It was probably $25.
you bought an internet shovel.
Bought an
Mhm.
internet shovel.
Did it have
Yeah.
good reviews?
You need to go to Canadian Tire next time.
It did have good reviews.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's got one of those little like
Good reviews.
mini
It's a shovel.
handles halfway down the handle. It's got a mini handle so that you can like lift.
So you don't have to wrench your back every time you need to.
So you don't have to wrench your back.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So when Charlotte goes out to shovel the snow,
Nice.
Uh,
it'll
Now we're
be,
talking.
I
it won't
see.
be bad for her back.
I see.
Yeah.
You don't want to hurt her.
No. So we do not have any crazy ice here
No.
where I am.
We have
which,
one of those inflatable lawn decorations
yeah.
that so many people have these days for the holidays, and it was out, deflated.
It
today,
deflated.
Like air
but there
does
was
when it gets cold.
A shell
I,
around it.
But I plugged it in. And it was the best thing in the world because I plug it in and the little fan starts, and all you could hear is just sounded like a million windows shattering at once.
Awesome.
And I look out and this thing is slowly trying to fight its way through the layer of ice on top of it, and just chunks of ice are flying as inflatable reindeer are popping into view. It was really quite wonderful. I'm considering hosing down the thing every night just to see that in the mornings.
Now, what would have been better is if it had iced over while it was inflated, and then it deflated and just left an ice shell,
a
perfectly
reindeer in
formed
an airplane shaped shell.
Yeah,
that's actually a really good idea. Okay,
probably won't work like that, but
I don't know. There's only one way to find out.
Yeah, you got to science this.
Won't work with that attitude anyway.
Yeah,
got to science this. Definitely.
I'm gonna see what the low temperature tonight's gonna be.
Yeah,
and maybe I'll hose it down.
There you go.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway, how's it going?
I was wearing shorts today.
Like short pants?
Yeah.
Oh,
outside.
Wow.
It was warm.
No, it wasn't that warm, but it was really warm.
Oh. What was the temperature you said today?
7 degrees Celsius.
Okay, hold on. 7
like 40
Celsius to Fahrenheit. Oh, 44.6 degrees.
44. Yeah, that's not bad at all.
It's pretty warm
for
shorts
December weather
23rd.
for sure.
Clearly.
Yeah. So we didn't want to record an episode on Christmas Day.
Yeah. So instead, you get a very unprepared version of a Friday podcast.
Okay.
I mean, are we ever really more prepared than this? Like,
well,
we set the bar pretty low, is what I'm saying.
We do, yeah. I mean, they're just.
I've been building Lego for the last 5 minutes. So
not much happened. Not much happened last week, is what I'm saying. So if we want to,
we finally got something interesting to talk about. What Lego are you putting together?
I'm building the little train that comes as a bonus when you order Lego right now.
Oh, okay, yeah. The little holiday train poly bag.
Yep. Because I got my kiddos some Lego for Christmas, and
don't say what it is.
No.
Well, of course not.
They might be listening.
They don't listen.
Oh.
But it would be my luck that this would be the first time they are listening.
Don't mention it now. And tell me later.
Yeah.
That's right. Well,
yeah.
I think the biggest news of this
that we're recording on Friday night.
Is that we're recording on Friday night, and B, that Sports Story came out today.
Mm-hmm. They did say it was coming out in December.
And boy, howdy, it did. Made it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard it's not great.
You heard it's not great?
Really?
Mm-hmm. Oh. Well, I bought it and started playing it.
This is a Golf Story sequel?
It's the Golf Story sequel, yeah.
Okay. From no less than Golf Story superfan, Scoop Joey. Who was really looking forward to it. He seems very underwhelmed.
Uh-oh.
And he said it seems like it was pushed out the door.
Oh. I don't like that. I started playing it though, and it seems like more Sports Story or more Golf Story.
There's the train. Look at that.
Choo-choo train. By the way, have you seen that game on Steam, Choo Choo Charles? You know what I'm talking
No.
about?
No.
Okay.
What is this?
Yeah,
Choo Choo
tell us what
Charles.
it is.
It's a horror game where you
That's
are
a
driving
Five Nights
a
at Freddy's knockoff?
train around an island, trying to fight off basically like a Thomas the Tank Engine, but like a frightening Thomas the Tank Engine,
Ah,
To be
Like
fair,
a-
Thomas is pretty frightening already.
like a train with a face, but it's also a spider. So,
okay.
look up Choo Choo Charles.
Like a Miyazaki film, or
No. It's a
So,
horrifying spider.
so
not a
good
cute,
and plenty
helpful
candy. Let me tell you a
Say
story about good and plenty candy.
okay.
You know good and plenty candy?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Little licorice candies with the candy shell.
I hate it.
Mike and I.
You know
like
what?
it.
I love good and plenty. I'm not.
Are they black licorice?
It is,
Yeah.
but there's kind of a sweet candy shell on it that sort of
Yeah.
negates
No.
it.
No. I can't do it.
And because I am not a I'm not a black licorice fan, but I love good and plenties. But back in the day, back in like the 50s, 60s, good and plenty commercials starred an
Were very
animated
racist.
character
Oh, okay.
named Choo Choo Charlie.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Choo Choo Charlie was an engineer, so the jingle proclaimed.
Uh-huh.
So I have a feeling the makers of this Five Nights at Freddy's ripoff.
Probably didn't
I
know
don't
that.
think it is. I don't think it is a Five Nights. Of course, I haven't played a Five Nights at Freddy's
Are you-
game.
Are you going to tell
But-
me that this game would have existed without Five Nights at Freddy's? Taking a beloved
You're right. It
childhood
probably wouldn't.
icon
It probably
and
wouldn't.
making it spooky.
Getting spooky.
Yeah, don't-
Nah, probably not. There'll probably be a Nick Cage movie on about
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, this is absolutely a result of Five Nights
Yeah.
at Freddy's being a popular thing.
Yeah.
But I think the good folks at the Good and Plenty Corporation might be on the legal warpath. Although I
think?
don't know, maybe if you don't use a marketing character in several decades, they
I
don't come
was
after
gonna
you.
say, are those ad people still alive? Do you even sue? Do they even still make Good and Plenty?
They
Yeah.
absolutely do. I had some Good and Plenty
Yeah.
probably a month or two ago.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I like the other what's the other candy that's not Good and Plenty?
The chat is amazing right now, by the way.
Are you talking about old man candy that I
Old
love?
Man- Yes.
It's-
Then you're
Why don't you
thinking of Necco wafers.
Jesus.
No?
Just cut out the middleman and go
No.
buy yourself
There's
some
like
ribbon-
there's a
hard ribbon candy.
non-licorice version of Good and Plenty, isn't there?
Oh,
Yeah, it's
Good
Mike
and
and Ike.
Fruity.
Mike and
Mike and
Ike's. There you go. Mike and Ike's.
Well, the actual one is Good and Fruity, which
Yeah.
is legit made by the Good and Plenty people because it's good and fruity.
Uh-huh.
But then yes, Mike and Ike's are the same.
Mike and Ike's are better.
Well, Mike,
All around.
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Well, you know what the thing is, because Good and Fruity is red licorice with
Oh,
candy coating, so there's still a licorice
Like
core.
a fruit.
yeah.
It's not like a fruity, chewy candy. It's
Yeah,
just
your Mike and
licorice.
Ike's, the core is just fruity gel.
It's really a slow
Yeah.
news week, huh?
Well,
Well, that's
it
what I
is.
love.
Probably-
Like the chat is here. Like Jeff Grubbs in the chat saying, "I told my audience to listen, and you all had to get your most meandering old man." And then Captain Logan's like, "This is the best Grandpa's a Gamer show out there."
Now, back in my day,
Oh. Hmm.
let me tell you what it was like growing up during the 1970s.
You didn't grow up during the 1970s.
I grew
You were
up
born in the
partially.
Partially. Yeah.
The formative years,
Were
you know, when I was 3-4 years
Yeah, I was
old.
gonna say,
The
Absolutely.
80s were my formative
you remember
years.
being alive in the 70s. Do you have like vivid memories of being like
Bits and
things that happened in the
pieces.
70s? Yeah,
Bits
but
and
not vivid
pieces.
memory. Yeah, okay.
Although the early 80s, you know, dredged over enough of the late 70s.
It's it's always funny to me that because first of all, whenever you see any sort of internet meme where it's like 80s were so cool, like the most amazing 80s bedroom, and it's like, man, nobody from the 80s had a bedroom.
Oh,
that
no.
looked like that.
No.
You know, it looks
Yeah.
like Silver Spoons or Punky Brewster or something like that. And it's just
Yeah.
like, no.
Arcade
No,
machines.
but then they show pictures of bedrooms from the 70s. It's like, that was my bedroom.
Oh, absolutely.
I saw something on Facebook the other day about like, this is what Christmas looked like in the 70s. And it was my living room. It was basically my living room from
Well,
the
it's
80s.
all-
Like,
It's all brown and
fake
and
wood
greens,
paneling, and the shag carpet, and
dark orange.
dude, the 70s survived well into the 80s.
Wood paneling.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Why is Jeff Grubb telling his audience to listen to our stupid show?
Probably
That's
to
on
take
you,
video.
Jeff.
That's
I mean,
thank you,
welcome,
Jeff.
welcome, Jeff Grubb fans. It's lovely to see you, but this is
was that
this
a
is
Super
what he
Mario
wants to
World?
listen to.
You're in Super Mario World.
Oh, you got the Super Nintendo ornament.
Yeah, the Genesis one's on the other side of the tree.
Yeah.
Against the wall?
No, that's not against the wall. The wall is much further back from the tree.
Okay, so you have to be sitting on the couch
to enjoy the
Genesis ornament.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see. I thought you were going to talk about the internet memes that are like, which control pad did you have when you were growing up?
Oh my god, that's killing me.
They only go back to the N64.
Somebody posted like the original Xbox dashboard. It's like, are you this old? It's like, I was 25.
I'm posting a picture of a bike tire and a stick.
Yeah. Or like somebody put on the pictures of like plugging in like an RCA cable, or like the yellow, white, and red cables. Like, are you this old? It's like, no, more like the two little devil prongs screwed to the back of the TV, slide to the game side.
Exactly.
Old.
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I guess we should just go into what we've been playing.
It's gonna be a short show.
No news this week.
Short show. I said Sports Story came out.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That's what happened.
How about all the Turtles updates this week?
Oh yeah, you want to talk Turtles?
Yeah, I mean it was just
run down the
Digital
Turtles
Eclipse
updates.
did a excuse me.
Oh boy.
Digital Eclipse did a live stream because they updated Cowabunga collection. There were some stability features that they added, which is really cool. But I thought it was fun to see that they did a few other cool things. They basically were listening to the fans, and also they were pretty open about the fact that they kind of ran out of time when they released that game. Because one of the great features they had obviously was the strategy guide stuff that was sort of made to look like old magazines, which is funny when you think about who works there as well. Like the stream was hosted by Dan Amrich, who's of course the old GamePro guy. But anyway, the Tournament Fighters strategy guide was pretty lacking, and that was because they said they ran out of time. So they've updated it now. Excuse me, they've updated it now to give you like actual move lists, because the three games do control and play differently. 3 different versions of Tournament Fighters. So they've updated that. And also one of the things that I really loved to hear was that there is like a Tournament Fighters community, right? And they actually had people reach out from that community, not to complain. I'm sure they had more than enough people to complain because it's the internet and everybody complains.
Right.
But Dan really made a point of this in the stream, which I really loved, was that they kind of reached out and said, like, they gave them, I forget what it was, like memory addresses or something like that would help them unlock features, which they incorporated into the game now. I think there's like a team battle mode. Anyway, it was the community that reached out and told them how to do that. And so I guess there's one guy or one group in particular that sent like a PowerPoint presentation about all the different things that were in the game that they could actually take advantage of. So Dan was really, he really pointed that out, which I thought was really cool, because it was, he said, like, it's the internet and most people will just say this sucks and, be very vocal about it and be kind of jerks about it. But some people actually, legitimately wanted to see it get better and offered to help, and we listened. So that was kind of neat. They added online play for Turtles in Time, Super Nintendo,
which is great.
They've also Stephen Frost was the other guy who was there. He's like their tech guy, who's also an old IGN guy, I think he was.
He was at Sega too.
Was he?
Yeah.
Yes, he was. That's right. But I think he was IGN before that.
Oh, was he?
I think so. I want to say that he used to be Games Press. Anyway, yeah. So he was also talking about how it's like Phil and I, you and I played online, and it was okay. It wasn't amazing, but it was okay. And he kind of called out, like, we don't have any servers, everything's peer-to-peer. So, it's only ever going to be as good as it can be, based on that. But they've adjusted it a little bit to try to fix some of the issues they were seeing, including things like limiting the size of not really a lobby, but the amount of people that can connect. Like, you can actually choose to do it, and you can actually choose to fiddle with the input lag a little bit in order to ease up on the connection speed and that sort of thing. Lots of sound updates as well, and the other thing that they added that I really love is they added a bunch of filters to the Game Boy games.
Oh yeah.
So you can get like the pea soup green now if you want. They also added the Game Boy Color palettes. They also added the Game Boy Pocket palette, because that was different than the original Game Boy, and also the Game Boy Pocket Light palette.
Yep.
So now you can basically make it look like it's running on any of the old Game Boy hardware, or just the black and white that they have in there now. And I think they added Super Game Boy support as well.
Did they?
Yeah. So just a lot of nice little touches.
They basically added all the filters that were on the analog pocket.
Basically. Yeah. Yeah. Which is great because,
Yep.
I mean, that's for me. I mean, blurry screen notwithstanding. That's how I remember Game Boy games.
Oh yeah.
Like when it was on there, like, and they were showing, because they had Follow the Foot Clan on, and that's when they were fiddling with the palette. Well, they showed all of them, but Follow the Foot Clan happened to be when I was, when they were talking about, I think, the pea soup one. And I said in the chat, it's like I'm suddenly out sitting on my mom's couch on Christmas morning playing Follow the Foot Clan, because that's when I got it. I got it for Christmas one year when I went to my mom's place. That's what she gave me, and I sat there and played it on my old brick Game Boy. And that's what it looked like. So
oh yeah.
it was very cool. And one other major change they made that I really like is that, and I think, Phil, you and I actually complained about this at one point, was that you have different settings as far as like
oh yeah.
Screen stretching and all that. And it wasn't universal. Or no, it was universal. It wasn't per game. Now it's per game. Now all the settings are saved per game. So if you go in and you set, the Game Boy to have like the LCD filter over it, what used to happen was then if you went and played like the Super Nintendo game, it would have the LCD filter on it. You had to go in and manually change it. And they also carry over for online games now as well.
Good.
So just a bunch of little changes. It was really cool that they sort of went online and went through all the changes in the update. Also hinted that there's another update coming that might actually they didn't say this, but they were hinting pretty hard that it might actually include content updates for the Turtles Lair, which would be really cool.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, and also saying like next year they have more releases, I think, than they ever have for a calendar year.
Oh great.
On the schedule. So sounds like they got some really exciting stuff to talk about next year.
Good.
I mean, they set the bar pretty high this year. This has been like,
yeah,
as far as digital Eclipse goes, this has been like a red letter year for them.
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, can't wait to see what's next.
Did you see that coincidentally Shredder's Revenge got updated this week as well?
Who did it really?
I did see that.
They did a bunch of gameplay like balancing tweaks and things like that. Cool. Just to improve the game, and they added some like new animations and things like that. And they also added like a screen full of dip switches that you can toggle to change your gameplay experience.
Cool.
A lot of times, like doing stuff where like you can set it now so two or more, I guess, can pick the same character. So everyone can be nice. Donatello. As it should be. You can
put in settings so that you could not spam the special attack.
You know what?
Yeah. They added a setting where now it takes your health points instead, right?
Oh.
Yeah, that's one of the. It's kind of like the old school maneuver. Yeah, we're using the super move eats up your health, like in old games. I think that was one of the tweaks, though. Was that I think now if you taunt, it only fills up like one section of your super bar, so you can't just taunt a few times in a row to just.
like the way it was before. I liked the way it was in a single player game,
Right.
but multiplayer it ruined the experience because it's just
absolutely.
all you're doing is sitting there waiting for special attacks to finish
Right.
playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was
Indeed.
just an amusing coincidence that both Turtles games got a fairly major updates this week. So
Yeah. And of course, the icon for
That's what I was just gonna say.
Cowabunga
Oh, right, I
collection
forgot about
got
the
the
icon.
Switch
updated.
version updated that terrible icon that didn't have the title of the game on there. So
I didn't think it was that bad, but
it was bad.
I prefer the title of the game.
Of course you do, because
better.
that's
Yeah.
a good icon. So
I agree. Yeah.
they listened to my complaints.
They did. Did you say that they mentioned you specifically on stream while they were
I can't
Phil?
imagine
No,
they
they
did.
not? Okay. That's one of the complainers. No.
No, I certainly bugged
That whiny
Stephen
bitch
Frog.
from that podcast that Jeff Grubb keeps sending people to.
That's right.
No, I bugged Steve about it on Twitter for sure.
Yeah.
So
Does anybody still use Twitter?
I do
You
all the
still using
time.
Twitter? Yeah.
sort of.
Yeah.
My timeline's pretty nothing at this point.
Starting to be bare.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got into a beta of a Mastodon client by the people who make the Twitter client that I really like.
Okay.
And now I've started using Mastodon a little bit more
Okay.
than I was before. I'm still
I
on
need to
Twitter,
learn that a little bit.
Yeah. But let me tell you, having a better client to use it helps a lot.
Oh, really?
Because I also don't really understand Mastodon.
Once a social media platform requires a learning curve,
yeah.
suddenly I don't
Well,
care
the thing
as
is too is that Twitter was so popular that
right.
everything else needs to be, if it's not
Yeah.
Twitter, it's kind of hard to learn.
I just want to
I
post
agree.
pictures of my toys. I don't want to have to think about it.
I know, right?
Right.
Yeah. I just want to post screenshots and video clips from Fortnite.
Look at this. It's Pac-Man in a bagel. Little
Nice.
salmon, the salmon bagel.
I like it.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Should we talk about what we've been playing?
I guess.
Why not?
Yeah.
What else?
I'll
do we
go
have to do?
first. So I started playing some more Donut Dodo.
Oh,
You know what is a good video game? Donut Dodo.
what did I tell you?
It's a good video game.
What did I
It's
tell
real
you?
good. Yeah.
It's
And
a fun game.
I haven't yet unlocked the second difficulty, but I have gotten to the Dodo, like the Dodo's lair.
Ooh.
So yeah, which is like four stages in or something like that.
I've entered the Dodo's lair.
The Dodo's lair. Yeah. But that's fun. It's so
a fun little game.
Also, I just want to see more games that take that sort of, this is like an old arcade game, but the control is better than it would have been had this been made in 1983, and the interface is better, and you can hit start and relaunch the game like right away, like that kind of thing. I like. So those sorts of quality of life upgrades
Yes.
to a classic style game. I like the, a lot of games have used the pixel art style. That's not new, but I like this idea of games that are using that as in this could have been a game from this era, and using a lot of the tropes of that, like the high scoreboard on Donut Dodo has like the names of before you put your own initials in, it's got like Dig Dug, Pac-Man, a bunch of different, like, three letter initials that spell out various retro games. And that's fun. That's just fun. I like it. And it's like $3, so go buy it on Switch or Steam. I also played Sailforth because I can sail
pirate?
on the
Yeah.
ocean. It lets you be a pirate. No, this is sort of a chill sailing game, and I had played the demo on Steam during Next Fest
Yeah.
back in the summer, and it's it kind of looks like Wind Waker
Okay.
a little bit. Like the water looks very Wind Waker-ish.
Hmm.
But you wake up in a boat and are going on a seafaring adventure, which could not be more up my alley.
So what? Okay, I'm interested. I'm
It's-
being serious. I am interested. What?
It's sort of a procedurally generated adventure game where
You're just out in the middle of the ocean. It's procedurally generated, and that it's just a flat blue horizon in every
No,
direction.
there are areas. So there are specific areas where you get like a nice circular area to go to, and then you find like pieces of a map that you can then select to go to the second area. It's got
Okay.
that sort of like branching path thing that a lot of sort of roguelike games that do that have.
Okay.
Yeah, it can be very chill. You can be doing things like taking pictures of things that you come across, and there's a shop that will buy your pictures from you and give you wood, which is apparently the currency.
Wait, what?
Definitely the currency in
You
my
turn-
world.
You turn in the pictures, and you'll get wood for it.
What kind of pictures are these?
Just pictures.
Mm.
It's like a Pokemon Snap kind of thing where
they
if you
dirty
take a
pictures?
picture. No, not dirty. No.
Oh,
But if you take
I didn't
pictures
say
of
dirty, I said-
NPCs,
I said doity.
doity. Oh,
Are they
okay.
doity
No.
Okay.
You take pictures of NPCs in tournament and get wood, which you can then use to upgrade your ship
Oh, yeah.
and build more cannons on it. You can have cannons on the side and the front.
You're building
Of
these
your ship.
cannons out of wood?
Oh yeah. I
Let me
think you
explain
have,
how this
you
is
have to,
going to work.
I think you have to find other stuff to build the cannons.
I see.
But majority of it is wood.
Okay.
But then you can alliance up with other ships and take on NPC controlled ships. It's not a multiplayer game or anything, but it is like a really sort of chill experience. It's got a nice sort of ambient soundtrack to it. It's fun. It's called Sailforth. Just came out.
Sounds
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah.
I would like to play it.
And then I played Picross X Pickbits versus Uzboros, which is the new
A mouthful.
Picross game. Yeah.
Yes.
New Picross game from Jupiter, who make all the Picross games. No, they
All the
make
good ones
Picross
anyway.
S series, yeah.
Yeah. The
And this
Procross-
one is quite different.
Yeah, this is bonkers. I've been playing this game, and I still only kind of have a tenuous grasp on what this thing is.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
like-
it's not uncovering pictures anymore.
No.
It's whittled down to the puzzles, but they're only 5x5 or less squares. You could get ones that are different than 5x5.
There's 10 by 10s.
Are there 10x10s in it? Maybe I didn't unlock the 10x10s.
Oh yeah,
yet.
yeah. There are 10 by 10s.
Okay.
But like those are like the hard mode ones.
Oh, all right.
Because it's basically let's take Procross but introduce competitive multiplayer aspects to it.
Yeah.
And
then you have
what
a
does
time
that
limit.
end up being?
Yeah.
This is like a race.
It's a race.
Yes.
And you can unlock treasure chests and defuse bombs. And the one that I was really interested in was the reverse puzzle, where the puzzle starts all filled in and you have to place where the X's go instead of placing where the filled spaces would go.
Yeah, you're chiseling away.
Chiseling away.
Yeah.
So I thought that was an interesting wrinkle on it. I tried playing the multiplayer, the online multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
But the race introduced in that one a bunch of things that I hadn't done already
really?
in single player mode. And I was like, what? Like, what am I supposed to do with this puzzle? I don't know.
I
So,
tried doing the online multiplayer once and it couldn't find a game.
I was able to find one other person
Oh dear.
to play. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 8 players online. One person joined my lobby and we played.
No people joined mine, so
They
Yeah.
clearly listened to the show.
yeah.
Yeah. It is a very different kind of Picross game there. So
Yeah.
this maybe should have been free with Nintendo Switch Online or something to get people in. But
But I mean, you're really enjoying it, right?
I am really enjoying it. I like the variations on Picross. It has made me think about some of the hints differently than I was.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I like the fact that it's fast. I initially had started playing on controller and then switched to just playing it on touchscreen
Oh, right.
and then switched back to controller because I was like, oh, I think I can do this on controller.
Okay.
And it hasn't been too bad on controller.
Good.
But yeah, it's colorful. You unlock a lot of stuff. The customization is sort of the hook of the game,
Right.
and they have DLC. In fact, that they're
It's
trying to sell
cosmetic.
for a few bucks. It's all cosmetic, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the little bonuses you get are cosmetic, and then I believe after you have 3 starred a stage or like got 3 medals on a stage, you unlock like an alternate version of that race.
Yes.
That has new goals. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's fun. It's interesting take.
Yeah, I don't dislike it. But it is definitely a weird variation of Procross. It is not, because we all know I love the Procross games.
Yes.
But for me, Procross is kind of a relaxation.
Yeah. Doing it against the
exercise.
clock is a little bit.
Yeah,
not
you know,
sure how I feel about that.
I like sitting there and just taking my time and slowly chiseling away and finding the little hidden images. But when it turns into go, solve puzzle, come on, go,
Well,
there's no
We're
time.
running out of time.
And it's just like, oh my God, this is just this is not what I play Procross for.
Right.
But maybe it's for or maybe it's what I play Procross X for.
Yeah. Maybe.
I mean, I do think it's neat. I do think it's fun, but
Yeah.
I don't see myself getting into this as much as I get into.
I wouldn't
standard
think so.
Procross.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. This seems like a game that should have been multi-platform, maybe like with PC and having crossplay or something, so that you have a little bigger multiplayer pool, because it is 8 players, but yeah, I just don't see maybe ever getting a lobby that has 8 people in it.
Would putting this on multiple platforms make any difference?
It might. It might.
Like,
it could at least make the player base bigger.
Yeah,
but by how much though? I mean, especially
you're right.
considering
you could probably put it on
more than
mobile,
0%.
phone.
the
Put it on phone.
the entirety of people who are familiar with Procross are kind of just on Switch, right? Since
There's
that's where all the
there are mobile versions of Procross, and there are like pick a puzzle games on PlayStation and other platforms.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But it's a cool idea, and I hate to see it like go down with no community around it. And maybe
Right.
that's part of that is just a part of, you know, Jupiter being a Japanese company that may not be able to nurture a community in the West or anything like that.
Right.
So who knows? But I'm liking the game.
Oh yeah, I do too. But it's weird.
Yeah.
It's also pricey. That's the other thing.
How much was it? It was $14.99, right?
I think that's like an introductory sale price. I think it's normally $20.
Yeah.
Which, when you consider the standard Picross games are like what, 10
Right.
for like a Picross S volume.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a big ask.
Yeah, I agree.
But-
I thought of Sports Story was announced, and Sailforth actually was announced as part of this Inside the House of Indies holiday event that Nintendo was having this week. I don't know if you saw that. They had this game called Hyper Gun Sport, which is volleyball with guns. and it looks like a Neo Geo arcade game.
Okay.
It's set up that way, like side on, like old school volleyball, and it looks really cool. I'm like, oh my gosh, this looks great.
Are you shooting the ball or the other
You're
players?
shooting the ball. You're shooting the ball.
We made that game for VR years ago.
Yes,
really?
you did.
Mhm.
Yeah. But
Or some
anyway, it's called
volleyball, but-
Hyper Gun Sport, and it looks so cool. It's $25 though. I was like, oh, if it was $10, I would have bought it. $25. I'm like, no.
Right.
So
What's this thing called again?
Hyper Gun Sport.
Hyper Gun Sport.
Yeah, take a look at
Take
the
a look at
screenshots.
this.
You'll be like, yeah, that looks like a Neo Geo game.
Yeah, it does kind of look like a Neo Geo game, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sure does. I also picked up Melatonin, which is another game that was part of this House of Indies holiday event.
Yeah.
And played a little of that, and it's like a Rhythm Tengoku style game, but with very dreamlike visuals, and it's probably more chill than Rhythm Tengoku. You're dreaming during all of these stages.
Is Wart
So
there?
you dream about
This is
Dream
like
about-
Art's Nightmare.
but with music. Yeah.
Okay.
You dream about shopping, you dream about eating burgers, but in the air while you're flying. So it's a little different. Like playing a shooting game on a huge screen TV, and you have to kind of listen to the beats of the song and press the action button at the right time to make everything go well. Anyway,
Okay.
Melatonin. It's like it's $13. It was on sale, so that's why I bought that. I was like, yes, that is the right price for me to go in. But the gun volleyball game at $25, that's too much. Yeah.
All right.
And I also bought Neon White.
What's that?
Yeah.
Neon White. It's that game a lot of people are talking about now that it's up for the end of the year. It's like it's a speed running game where it's sort of like Astrobot in that way, that the point is to get to the end as fast as possible, and you're given cards that give you various powers. Sometimes the cards are guns, and they have secondary uses as well, and you can use them to do things like double jump. So I only played a little bit of that so far, but it's more enjoyable than I thought it was, because I heard cards and I was immediately out. But you're sort of collecting the cards as you do these platforming challenges, and they give you like the next thing that you're going to do logically, and you can find all sorts of shortcuts. It's almost like a Sonic level at that point, like from Sonic Frontiers.
Interesting.
But with an anime story that I mostly have skipped through, and nice cel shaded visuals. So yeah, that's what I've been playing. Greg.
Playing a lot more Vampire Survivors, but I'm not going to talk anymore about that because Phil hates that game.
Hate it.
We're
I got the yellow sign this week, by the way.
I don't know what it does. Haven't figured that out yet. I kind of restarted because I did go and buy it on Steam.
Oh, okay.
So I restarted on Steam, and that's with the DLC, although I'm not sure what it changed. And playing it on the deck. So so now I'm going to bed even later every night. But no, there's a bit of a surprise release last week on PlayStation Plus. Was Ridge Racer 2 for the PSP. 2006's Ridge Racer 2.
Okay.
The PSP.
Apparently this was supposed to be out in September and then didn't come out then.
I had no idea it was coming out at all.
Yeah.
So I've been playing a lot of that this week.
Any Ridge Racer is good to have.
Well, and that's really the thing. I mean, not that I hadn't realized it had been a long time since we got a Ridge Racer, but it's been a long time since we got a Ridge Racer. That series has been dormant for over a decade now.
And
which is a shame because man, it was a flagship series, not only for Namco but for Sony for so long.
Also, Namco seems kind of shy about re-releasing some of the re-releasing the old ones. It's like these are classics. These are especially PlayStation classics.
Yeah, really,
I
and
mean-
where it's been so long, and I mean, excuse me, this PSP game, it plays well on a big screen.
Mhm.
So there's really, they could really do like a compilation easily,
They should.
and it would be
They
great.
should.
But yeah, I mean, it's so Ridge Racer 2 was on the PSP. First one was also the Ridge Racer on the PSP.
It was a
They were
launch
basically
game.
just compilations. It was a launch game. They were basically just compilations of cars and tracks that had come before.
Yeah.
But it's just nice to. Those games are relaxing. That they evolved into something that was very relaxing. I mean, they were good games, good racing games, but especially when they started to fiddle with the different types of drifting, so you could sort of, where you had standard and mild and extreme or dynamic, I think they call it. You could really sort of glom on to one type of drifting and you just and just go out and have a good time with it, and that's
Mhm.
that's what it is. It's not realistic, it's not like really bombastic in any way. It's just fun to sit down and do a couple races. But yeah, I mean, the real thing that it got me thinking about was the fact that it's been so long since we've gotten a Ridge Racer, and really when you look at it, the last few, I mean, like the last main one was Ridge Racer Unbounded, which was over 10 years ago. And that game was Ridge Racer, but it really wasn't. It was like about vehicular combat more than anything else. I think it had licensed cars too. And then there was like Ridge Racer on the Vita, which also wasn't really well received. So, but the last numbered Ridge Racer we got was Ridge Racer 7 in 2006.
Oh,
Do you think it's too difficult to get people to care about an arcade style racer these days?
Maybe.
Because we do have some good ones now. I mean, Horizon Chase is really good. I
Yeah.
feel like people don't play that though. And then we had that Hot Shot Racing. Was that the one that looked kind of like Daytona?
Yes.
See, you don't even know.
Those are indies,
I know. Yeah.
right? And I mean,
Uh,
that's the big difference, I think. Like these,
Yeah.
I don't know about Ridge Racer like doing a big AAA. I mean, look at the latest Need for Speed, another game that used to be a flagship game, just sort of
Yeah.
dribbles out in December to zero
Yeah.
fanfare.
yeah.
I don't know if landscape really fits, but boy, is it ripe for some kind of compilation. I mean,
Yeah.
hey, 2023
Digital Eclipse.
Well, I mean, 2023 is the 30th anniversary of the first game.
Oh.
First game came out in 1993.
Hmm.
So, yeah, that's how math works. 30th anniversary. So, like, it's time. Speaking of anniversaries, by the way, as we're recording this, 25th anniversary of Gran Turismo.
Oh,
I see.
The original Gran Turismo.
There's another
racing games
series
mattered.
that nobody cares about.
Ouch.
But it's it's true.
You will be hearing about that series during our Games of the Year episode next week.
Jeff Grubb points out, by the way, Cruisin' Blast and Hot Wheels.
Those are two really good games.
Are
but
those
I don't think
two
they...
big AAA games? Like, would you classify those alongside something like first party Sony, like a Gran Turismo or like a, because that's where Ridge Race used to live.
No,
right? I mean, that used to be.
I can't answer that. I'm just a proxy for Jeff Grubb's.
No, but I'm asking you your opinion. Like, would you say?
I feel like I've heard more people talking about Cruisin' Blast and Hot Wheels than I have about Gran Turismo. But
that's true.
Maybe that's
Need for Speed.
Or Need for Speed.
Yeah.
That's fair. But anyway, it's on PS Plus. It's free if you've got PS Plus. Go. I mean, it's a small little download.
Yeah.
And it's fun to just pick up and play it. It's interesting. I think I'd like to go back and play it on the PSP because I think that it has been upgraded a little bit. I want to say that the texture maps on the cars have been up-resed. Only on the car that you're driving, though. It's kind of funny because if you watch a replay, all of the other cars that are on the track are like low level of detail.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you pass a car, like the same car that you're driving, because the cars in Ridge Racer, which was one of the things I always loved about the series, because race car liveries are always sort of really interesting and really busy. And rather than making up fake company names as sponsors. They just use names of characters and past arcade games
Oh
in the
yeah,
Namco library, right? Like everything's like, like you got a car that has Draga written all over
like a
it, and
Mappy
Galaga,
car.
Galaxian, and Mappy, and
yeah.
all that stuff, which I always thought was so cool. It was such a great idea. Like, it's another great example of one of those things where you've got this company that has this super deep history.
Yeah.
Why not mine it, even for something little like that? But yeah, you'll drive by, like if you're driving the Galaxian car, you'll drive by it in replay, and like your car is clear as day.
Yeah.
And textures on that car are like super blurry because they're not drawing it at full res.
Whoops.
But anyway, yeah, I'm not saying, again, people are coming out like game positives and they're talking about inertial drift, and Jeff brought up Cruise and Blast and Hot Wheels. I'm not saying arcade racers don't exist anymore. What I'm saying is, they're not the event games that they once were. Which I think is why you don't see something like a Ridge Racer. And also the last couple of releases for the Ridge Racer series were not well received.
Yeah.
They tried to change up the format. But again, 30th anniversary next year. Come on, Namco. Bandai Namco. Let's even just get the arcade games and I don't know. There's a lot to choose from there. I would love to see even just the numbered games get some kind of compilation.
That would be cool. I have a lot of great memories playing Ridge Racer 5.
Oh my god, yeah.
And
see, again,
Rage Racer,
huge launch game.
Yeah,
that wouldn't
Ridge
happen
Racer
now.
5.
But,
yeah, so good.
Yeah, that's really it. That's all,
that's all you played. All right.
It's Christmas,
Phil.
man.
I know, right?
It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, in that same vein, I've not been really sitting down playing too much extensively. I've just been kind of bouncing around playing little bits of stuff here and there. Like, I was playing the Procross X. I played some more River City Girls 2, which I'm enjoying quite a bit.
You play any more High on Life?
Well, I mean, I'm going to continue talking.
Oh, okay. I don't see it on the.
It's not on the because I just kind of I've been bouncing around. I've been playing a lot of stuff on my Analog Pocket. I've been playing a bunch of old Game Boy games, old GBA games.
Yeah,
played a little more High on Life.
That game is apparently the biggest single player game launch in Xbox history or something like that.
It's certainly up there.
Popular game on Game Pass right now.
Yeah, it's very popular.
I see CJ's less concerned about what I'm playing and more interested in how can he twist what I've been playing into
I really liked it when it was
news segment.
I really liked it when it was Stranger's Wrath.
Yeah.
Oh, because of the talking guns.
Yeah.
The talking guns.
That's right.
That's all I ever heard me say.
Yeah, but did you have a talking knife that also acts as
true.
You might have
like a grappling.
It's also a grappling hook
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I am enjoying High on Life. It's a fun game. And yeah, good on them for putting it on Game Pass where it can actually thrive and people are getting a chance to play it.
Also, is this the end of December just being a wasteland for releases or popular releases? If High on Life can do pretty well, and hell, we're getting games on December 23rd. With Sports Story and whatnot. Seems like December is no longer just off limits. Although I guess because every other month of the year is also just really busy. So
well, I mean, what are we? We're getting like little indie games and
Callisto Protocol.
Oh, that came out a few weeks ago, right?
High on Life. Yeah, it came out in December.
Boy, I don't like Callisto Protocol.
December games. I want to get back. I need to get back to it.
I just don't like it. I'm sorry.
I like it.
No, I can't get back into it.
Yeah.
No? Oh.
I tried to after last week. The more I played it, the more I just didn't like it.
No.
That's a shame.
I'm sorry, Callisto Protocol.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Okay.
Not for me. I'll stick with my River City Girls 2.
And Elevator Action Returns.
Oh, are you kidding?
Which I picked that up too.
Oh, I got to get that. I keep forgetting to pick that up.
Have you played it yet?
No.
Have you ever played this game before?
No, I have never played this game.
Okay. See this, you jokingly, blow off Callisto Protocol with like, oh, elevator. You know what? Elevator Action Returns is so much better than Callisto Protocol. That's not even a joke.
Well, Dodo is better than Callisto Protocol.
There's a lot of things that are better than Callisto
I
Protocol.
mean, you ain't wrong.
I mean, I like Callisto Protocol, but Dodo is just instant fun. So I'm instantly having a good time.
Play some Elevator Action Returns. It's such a fun game. It's such a fun game. And definitely, I think they're charging $15 for that right now.
Is it on the sale?
Yeah.
Is it part of the sale?
I don't know if that's a sale.
Think so. No.
Is that just its normal price?
It's on Steam, right?
Yes.
It's on Steam, yeah.
Yes. And it is well worth the $15
It's
asking
$15,
price.
yeah.
Because that's a terrific game.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I've just been kind of bouncing around playing little bits of things here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Playing some Rogue Legacy. Rogue Legacy 2 has their holiday event happening right now.
Yeah.
So
what's involved in the holiday event for Rogue Legacy 2?
just different sprites. There's no like holiday
Christmas
theme.
lights in the level. Or,
Yes. All the enemies are all wearing like Santa hats and
that's fun.
And there's breakable items that are scattered throughout the stages are now like wrapped presents.
I am a sucker for that kind of thing. Fortnite is also, of course, doing a winter event.
Of course.
That has Christmas trees and Christmas lights and you can open presents and stuff. I'm a sucker for that.
Santa Claus. You'll see a little Santa silhouette fly by in the background. Cute little stuff
Fortnite,
like that.
Fortnite has that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm playing as a nutcracker in Fortnite now. Skin. I'm a nutcracker.
Like Johnny Cage?
Yep. Exactly like Johnny Cage.
You get it.
I do.
Yeah, we get it.
Yeah.
Talking about testicles.
Yes.
Okay. But yeah, I mean that's what I've been playing. Just random crap.
I
don't have much to say about any of it other than I'm
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. I've been just I'm on vacation. I took this whole week off work. I got all next week off.
Yeah.
I'm just lounging around. I'm relaxing. I'm playing games I want to play. I'm not going to force myself to play Callisto Protocol when I could be playing Mole Mania.
Well, yeah. Why would you?
There's another game that's better than Callisto Protocol. Mole Mania on the original Game Boy.
When is that coming back? When are we finally going to get Mole Mania 2?
I mean,
maybe that's what Miyamoto has been working on.
I don't know if you're a Jeff Grubb fan tuning in for the first episode, but like a good 40% of our discussion on this show is when is Mole Mania coming back?
Yeah.
The answer is probably never.
Probably never. No. What we can do is we can pin our hopes on an indie who also likes Mole Mania making a spiritual sequel.
Ah, yes.
we can actually, that might happen. But as for Nintendo making a real Mole Mania sequel, that ain't happening.
Man, I would love.
Although maybe we can manifest this just like we've manifested other things.
That's right.
We talk about it on the show and then it happens.
That's right.
Or we talk about it off air and then it happens, like the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters.
On a very good sale right now.
Yeah.
I really thought they would be, but nope.
What is not a very good sale? Like what are you
As in, I wanted to be able to pay less.
Need to be?
Okay, I wanted to be able to pay less for the bundle right now than I would have to pay for the bundle on a console when they come out in the spring. And right now it's not the case. No, okay. It's not much of a difference. I think it's like $10. I'm just saying. I was hoping it would be a little cheaper.
The only one worth buying in that anyway is Final Fantasy VI. So just buy that one and be done with it.
I don't agree.
No? Oh.
The best one.
Yeah.
But I'm not, I like the other ones.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question.
Positive mentions Male Mole, by the way, on Switch. That is a good platforming game. It's a good
What is Male Mole?
It is a game where you play a mole that delivers the mail. And it's a platformer.
Well, MAIL.
MAIL. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. but it is not like Mole Mania. It has a mole, but it's not Mole Mania.
Not all games with moles.
It's
Are
a good
alike.
platformer, though. It's a good platforming game.
Is it as good as Mole Mania though?
I mean, Mole Mania is sort of its own
Choose
genre.
your next words carefully.
It's its own genre, and I, for one,
Yeah.
am awaiting the introduction of the Mole Mania like genre to come back. There will be maybe a Mole Mania.
Is it a genre?
It should be,
but it is it.
It's not. Maybe we need to bring it back. Bring it to the fore.
Under above ground tactical action.
Yes,
is the genre of Mole Mania.
Under above ground tactical action.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
espionage action.
You're not really like
espionage.
You're not. This is not a snaking mission, Mole Mania. It's a rescue mission. You're saving your family.
By the way,
speaking
of rescue missions,
conversation's still going.
Speaking of rescue missions, so PSVR 2 comes out pretty soon here.
Yes,
and I know I do want Astrobot rescue mission in my library.
Now there's a rescue mission worth embarking upon.
And it used to be that Sony would put that thing on sale all the time during any sale.
Yes.
Well, they haven't for like the last two big sales, like the November Black Friday sale and the holiday sale this year. No Astrobot on sale.
So when does this turn into a conspiracy theory?
So this turns into a conspiracy theory
in the next few seconds.
Right now, that in actuality they're planning an upgrade and they don't want people to buy it for $10.
Aha.
Yeah. So they didn't put it on sale. And that's the case with a lot of their VR games. They are not on sale.
Oh, is that right?
Holiday sale, PSVR 1 games. Yeah. And it's suspicious. It's very suspicious.
I see.
I obviously have no idea what's happening with it, but yeah. I wanted Astrobot in my library and it ain't happening.
That would be lovely.
Yeah.
If they did.
It would be.
Well, we can hope.
Yeah.
No. But that's what I've been playing.
Okay.
I guess.
All right. I guess that means it's time for tweets.
Okay, hold on. Twiddly diddly dee. Oh, twiddly diddly dee. Tweet, 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 tweet.
Let's do this one. This is a toot. This is not a tweet.
What's a
toot?
No. It's CJ. I've been holding this in for a bit.
A toot
This
for
is
us?
a toot.
Jesus.
No, because I said I was using Mastodon
That's
more.
gross.
And it's called toots and on Mastodon. right?
Mastodon tweets
Why are they
are called
called
toots?
I don't know. I don't actually think they're called toots anymore, but at one time they were.
That's
Yeah,
dumb.
that's bad.
Yeah. But anyway, this one comes in from listener Sorrel, who says, I was streaming last night and a viewer in my chat made a statement regarding Nintendo's current console power being lacking and eventually getting left in the dust if they don't catch up, get serious about game development. The viewer used Pokemon Scarlet Violet as an example. I disagreed since Nintendo are overwhelmingly
Notoriously bad selling game.
Yeah, outselling the other console makers. Gameplay matters more, obviously, but do you think this could eventually be a situation, or is the hybrid model a golden ticket?
The golden ticket for Nintendo. I think if you call it a golden ticket, that falsely makes it sound like that's what everybody should do. Nope.
No.
I think we've learned since the early 2000s, if not the mid 90s, Nintendo going to do what Nintendo needs to do, and they get it right more than they get it wrong. They have gotten it wrong. You know, the Virtual Boy happened, the Wii U happened, but boy, did they get it right an awful lot.
Yeah, I don't think Nintendo has to chase technology like the other console makers. And people who suggest
chasing technology,
people who suggest that Nintendo does need to chase technology haven't looked at the history of Nintendo just in general, because Nintendo seems to thrive when they're using off-the-shelf tech to make something interesting, right? Like that's kind of their whole thing.
The Gunpei Yokoi philosophy.
Yeah, that's their whole thing.
I mean, that's how they got into video games.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. So people talk about the Switch Pro or a higher performing Switch. I think yes, in the same mode that the current Switch is like mobile tech from 2016. But I think you look at what they'll do with the next Switch, it's going to still be mobile tech. Maybe from
just won't be
a few years forward. They're not going to have it be, from 2016, but it's going to be a little bit brought forward. It's not going to be like, it's never going to be cutting edge, right? That's just not Nintendo. And luckily, in the past 5 years the Switch has been around, we've gotten games that have looked good or been ported to the Switch despite its low power, right? It's just, and I think you're going to continue, even if the Switch gets upgraded hardware, you're going to continue to get that good and bad port. There are going to be those games that may have technical issues, but again, I don't necessarily see that as a weakness.
Well, I mean,
for when it comes to Nintendo's own games. For other games, maybe.
Like, I guess Pokemon did launch with some technical issues, but normally Nintendo games are quite technically sound. Like I don't know. I feel like we're painting everything with the brush based on the most recent release. And yeah, you're right. Like when you're using withered technology was the phrase that Gunpei Yokoi used.
Right.
When you're on older tech and you're porting games from, something like a PlayStation 5 or built for a PlayStation 5 onto the Switch, yeah, it's not going to look good. But I mean, that's the exception to the rule. Those, ever since the Wii, you're not, the Nintendo platform is not your lead SKU ever.
Yeah.
Unless,
however, I would bring up the Link's Awakening remake as something that did have some technical hitches.
Well,
yeah, it had like a frame rate. It still does. They never fixed it.
Okay.
But yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think they haven't been chasing technology since the 90s. That's what they did in the 90s. They did it with Super Nintendo. They did it with the N64. Super Nintendo was obviously massively popular. The N64 was not. And then they went a different way. Worked for them.
The GameCube, they kind of chased tech that it didn't work out too well for them at that time either.
Well,
anyway, let's do this one from Hackeralius Blarcade, who says, friend of the show, Seabake76 just did a video as 40 favorite Marvel games. Which ones would you wish were easier to play on modern hardware?
Of those 40 Marvel games?
I assume you probably didn't watch the video, so
I did not watch it.
Expand it to either those 40 games, or we can expand it to ones he didn't mention.
I mean, he mentioned a lot of games.
I mean, it's 40.
I'm not gonna say I remember
40 Marvel games.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. Because I'm assuming it's a good video.
It is good.
Seabake's videos are usually quite good.
They're not a ranking based on quality. They're a ranking based on his favorites.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Which, yeah. I don't know. I mean, there's I would love to see the Marvel fighting games able to be playable, on
Marvel versus Capcom.
Yeah, or just Children of the Atom.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But I mean, a lot of them are good. I don't have any major love for a lot of the old Marvel games, to be honest. Not that they were bad. I just wasn't a big. I was always a bit of a comic book fan, but like I'm a bigger fan of Marvel now because of the MCU. Not.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
Right.
Yeah. Here's what Digital Eclipse should do next: is a Marvel games compilation similar to Atari 50, where
that would be great.
You have Spider-Man 2600,
right,
next to some of the sort of 16-bit.
What was that? What was that Hulk game? Let's see.
The Incredible Hulk.
Ultimate Destruction.
Was that the one 360 PS3 era?
I think
Incredible
he mentioned
Hulk.
that in this list.
Ultimate Destruction, which was PS2 and Xbox and GameCube.
Okay.
That was a game I had fun with.
I think I remember that game. Yeah.
For me, that video, I'm just going to say, by the way, it's a good video. For me, the biggest takeaway was Seabake goes into a lot of detail about when he became a big Marvel fan. It's much later than I realized. I kind of always assumed that he was just like a comic book kid, but from what he described in that video, he wasn't.
Oh, interesting.
It was very much like a mid-90s thing.
Okay.
Which I was surprised about. But yeah.
Well, that's when kind of like
that's when the X-Men,
like X-Men was kind of blowing up real big.
Yep. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like
Spider-Man was on then too.
What's that?
There was a Spider-Man cartoon on too that was really good.
Oh yeah, the 90s Spidey.
Yeah, it was that was a really good show.
Aren't they?
That was when I always liked Spider-Man, but I loved that show.
Oh yeah.
Aren't they doing a 90s X-Men revival?
They are. They're doing a new animated series.
That's fun.
Yeah, that's
nice.
I guess like I think it picks up like right after the 90s cartoons, so
that's fun. I like that.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, the Capcom fighting games are obvious ones. Yeah, that Hulk Ultimate Destruction game, which was by Radical Entertainment. That was a lot of fun. What was one of the Wolverine games that was released?
One of the X2.
It might have been an X2.
Basically, it was sort of supposed to be like a Metal Gear almost.
Yeah.
Yep. With Mark.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Wolverine.
Yeah.
Although they had what's his name on the cover? You know, Wolverine. The actor.
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman.
Yes.
They put Hugh Jackman's face on the cover, but it was Mark Hamill doing the voice.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I see.
What about you, CJ? Do you have any Marvel games?
I was not a comic book kid ever.
Yeah.
But I have fond memories.
Fond remembrances.
Fond remembrances.
Remembrances.
Yeah.
Of the 2600 Spider-Man game, yeah. Versus the Green Goblin.
The old
with
Spidey game, yeah.
Yeah, that one. Good memories of that.
Is Spider-Man 2, the movie game.
That was good.
The one that everyone...
Is that the Neversoft game?
I don't think that... No, the Neversoft
was it Treyarch
one...
by then?
Was
it Treyarch by then?
Might have been Treyarch, yeah.
Oh, okay.
The Neversoft games were for PS1, and those were both also outstanding games.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it'd be great to be able to play those on a modern system.
Yep.
But yeah, Spider-Man 2, based on the Raimi movie, was that the big, like, kind of first open world, like, you have full reign of New York?
One of those movie games was, I forget which one.
Yeah.
Seabake talks about that in the video as well.
Yeah. That was also the one that had the really good swinging mechanics.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
See. Huh. Okay. Well, I think that's it. I think that's the end.
Well, that's it?
That's it.
Short
That's
show.
our closer?
Yeah, short. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the closer, unless there's anything you want to talk about.
DJ's got some eggnog to drink.
I guess so.
Yeah. I got dinner to make.
What's for dinner
That
tonight?
was hours ago.
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti?
I'm making spaghetti, yeah.
Do you boil it?
You make your own sauce?
Boiling it. No, I don't make my own sauce.
Me neither.
We make our own sauce.
Sounds like too much work.
I
What?
guess it's a little bit of work, but
Yeah.
it's better than whatever ragu stuff you're pouring on it.
I don't use ragu. I mean, come on.
What do you use?
Newman's Own. Come on.
Oh, okay.
Go with the Newman's Own.
I see.
Yeah.
Big Slapshot fan?
Yep. You know it. Color of Money and Hudsucker Proxy.
You know, I've never seen the Hudsucker Proxy.
Oh,
That's a good movie.
that's a great movie.
That's what you can do tonight.
Probably not.
Yeah, instead of playing Vampire Survivors, watch
Nope.
the
Yeah.
Hudsucker Proxy.
There you go.
No?
A better time will be had.
Doesn't feel like it.
I guarantee you.
You've seen that Violent Night movie, Greg, right?
I have.
You like it?
It was great.
Liked it?
It was a really good time.
Is it appropriate?
Oh my
Nope.
gosh. But she loves Stranger Things.
No, it's not. It's
not.
it's right in the name. It's very violent.
Okay.
It's very gory.
By the way, my daughter is really excited about the Last of Us TV show coming to HBO. It came up, like the trailer for it came up on something else.
She's watched you play Last of Us, hasn't she?
She has, yeah.
She could see Violent Night.
Okay. See, this is what I'm trying to gauge.
Parenting 101.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Maybe we'll watch it. I watched the trailer and was like, this looks really good.
It's fun.
We should watch that.
Yeah.
Because it's available on digital right now.
Oh, is it really? So
Yeah,
it's like in the theater.
It's like more expensive because it's out in theaters, but it's available. So
we went and saw. We went out to we took Finn to the movies yesterday.
Yeah.
We went and saw that new Puss in Boots movie.
How was it?
You know what? It was actually pretty cute.
Really?
Yeah.
It was not bad.
Good. That's good.
And I am 1000% not a Shrek fan.
Yeah.
But I did like the Puss in Boots character from those movies.
Yes.
I watched because there was a Puss in Boots movie several years ago.
Yep.
That I did not think was very good. But this one was actually pretty cute. And whenever they went into like an action sequence, the animation style kind of changed to like kind of Spider-Verse looking.
I noticed
really?
that in the trailer because there were a couple scenes in the trailer where I think when they were like dashing towards each other where it was a lower frame rate.
Yeah. They do like the animated on the twos.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the technical animation term. But yeah, so it like whenever there's an action sequence, it starts looking like Spider-Verse. But the action scenes are really, really well done, actually. It was a cute movie. It was there were some funny bits to it. So
I'm sure I'm going to see it just because my kids will want to.
Oh yeah, and he loved it. He had a blast. Yeah. So
excellent.
Yeah.
Still haven't seen Avatar.
I've not seen Avatar.
Can't see going and sitting there for 3.5 hours.
We did.
I
saw
this one
it.
enough to do that.
I saw it.
Anyway.
I didn't really like. I'm not a fan of the first one, but I enjoyed the second one. It's an entertaining film.
Dana and I rewatched the first one the other night because we hadn't seen it since like it was originally in theaters back in the day, and I'd forgotten all but the broadest strokes of that movie's narrative.
Yeah,
and it's
fine.
Yeah, exactly. It's okay.
Well, I'll tell you what though, the movie has some clumsy exposition. Just the first hour of that movie is just people explaining the premise of
It's Dances with Wolves.
This is why we were on Pandora, and you have like the Paul Reiser character.
Yeah. What's his actual name? Yeah.
I don't know, but he's the Paul Reiser character. He's the guy who should have been played by Paul Reiser.
Yeah.
Explaining to Sigourney Weaver. No.
Anyway, sorry.
This is why we're on Pandora, and it's like she's been here for how long? She knows. Why are you explaining the plot of the movie to her?
Her bleeding heart keeps making her forget.
Oh, that clearly. We're trying to dig up this ore. Yes, she knows. She knows. She works with you.
Which, by the way, God, what a stupid name.
I
always hated that.
Me too. But that's used across lots of.
Oh, I know. I found out afterward that it's a thing.
Yeah,
doesn't make it sound any less stupid in the moment, though.
I agree.
But yeah, no, I can't. I want to see it because the same thing. I mean, when I saw it in theaters, it was good. It's not remotely my favorite James Cameron movie. But because he's got some
Piranha
real
2,
classics.
the
Yes, that's what I mean.
spawning.
And then everything
Yeah.
else. But like I didn't think it was a bad movie. I just like, okay,
No.
That was, it was Dances with Wolves with
Right.
James Cameron special effects and action sequences. But 3.5 hours, and we went back and rewatched it after we came back from Disney World because, of course, Pandora is an area in Animal Kingdom now.
Yeah,
and it was the same. I had the same feeling. I didn't dislike it.
Yeah. It's just,
I've never understood why this sequel has been so anticipated for so long.
No,
I've just never gotten it.
No, and having seen it,
$1 billion.
I don't need to see it again. I'm
No.
not rushing out to see it again, but it was as entertaining as the first one. For me. It's not doing anything
Can't
you
wait
haven't
for it to
already seen
stream.
in other movies, but
Yeah.
Although when I went and saw Violent Night, there was a PSA, I guess you could call it,
Okay.
from James Cameron at the beginning. I think it was after the trailer for Avatar, thanking us for going to the theater to watch movies that they're meant to be watched.
Oh my God.
There you go.
I prefer to watch movies at home on streaming.
I prefer to see movies in theaters, but it's not as
Not
feasible
as
anymore.
We were at an AMC theater, so we got the Nicole Kidman PSA where she talks about how the magic of Hollywood can only be truly experienced in a.
James Cameron up here because he's Canadian. Obviously, I think he actually says that in the thing because
really?
Canadian. Yeah,
I'm James Cameron, noted Canadian.
Noted Canadian.
Thank you, fellow Canadians.
Some of us made it
for making your way out to the theater. So come take off with me, fellow hosers, as we grab your tub of maple syrup coated popcorn.
That sounds amazing.
Quiet down your moose and let's enjoy together.
I love the hand motion was nice.
Here it is.
Alrighty, is that it? I think that's it.
I just got Nicole Kidman about to burst into tears. Why don't you people go to theaters? Please.
She's not American.
Magic of movie making.
No, she's not. Alrighty, and that's our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1 Podcast on the Twitters, or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. And there you'll find our contact information. You'll find blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Stewart. You'll also find Generation 16 episodes as they happen.
Very close to getting the next one done.
Very close. Hey, that's Choo Choo Charlie right there.
Yeah, he's cute.
Get your good and plenties from Choo Choo
Mike and
Charlie.
Charlie says, love your good and plenty. Charlie says, really rings a bell.
Uh-huh.
Those commercials probably stopped airing about 25 years before I was born.
Hey, no, how do you know them?
I
Anyway,
don't know.
We don't really have that kind of time.
we don't have that.
But you bet I know some like 1950s jingle for crappy candy nobody likes.
There you go.
Oh my goodness.
Where was I? Yes. The website where you can find show notes and links to all the things that we talked about. And you can find a link to our Discord server where we can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you would like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting playeronepodcast.com or just by loading up your favorite podcast listening app. We're also on Stitcher Radio. We're on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. You can watch video archives of our show on the youtubes.com/P1 podcast, or you can tune in and watch us live most weeks on the YouTubes, the Twitters, the Facebooks, the Twitch.televisions, all over the dang place. Tell you what, just follow our Twitter account, which is at P1 Podcast. That's the numeral 1 to find out when we are nearing our next live show. Typically, it is on Sunday evenings at 5:30 Pacific time, but it ain't this week due to holiday interference.
Mm-hmm.
We bumped it up a few days. What do you want from us? You know, we got families. We got celebratings to do's. But follow our Twitter account to find out when we do our next live show. And I'll tell you what, if you like what you've heard, Jeff Grubb fans, and how could you, head over to patreon.com/P1 podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. CJ's walls are still looking bare.
Yeah, come on, CJ. Do you have next
And
week off?
maybe if we
I
get
do,
enough
actually.
Patreon funds, he can hire a handy person to come in and hang up the crap on his walls.
That's right.
You people who are just tuning in this week, if you're watching the YouTube video feed, you'll notice a pile of pictures, although they're hidden behind boxes there. Are those Christmas
No.
presents in
He
those
thinks we won't
boxes?
see them that way.
Yes, they are.
Are those are holiday gifts?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
Once those gifts are cleared out, though, you can see a big pile of stuff that CJ's been meaning to hang up for
You can't see anything.
a year.
No. Oh, wait. There we go. Can't see anything.
There it is. Yeah. It's like it never existed. And you're in such a
Never
natural
existed.
pose, too. It's so flawless.
I
Hey,
know,
CJ.
right?
Hey, CJ.
Yeah.
When did you move into that house?
Last January.
Come on, man.
Oh wow, we are. We're approaching the 1 year anniversary
True.
of CJ's art pile.
Yes.
There it is.
Wow, we are. Hmm.
CJ's got to be ready to leave at a moment's notice.
I do. This
You
is
know.
true.
No
Yeah.
time to fully unpack.
No time.
I lived
time.
with CJ. How long were we roommates, CJ? Couple years?
Yeah.
Couple
Couple
years.
years. Couple years.
I moved out of CJ in my apartment. There were still plenty of boxes that CJ never unpacked.
That's true. That's not how I live anymore, though.
You say that.
They're not in boxes. Those pictures are not in boxes.
Jesus.
They're technically unpacked. They're
They're
not in a
unpacked.
box.
That's right.
Okay, I get. That's fair enough. Fair enough.
They're not in a box.
You know what though? Your Patreon funds do help support our show, help keep us streaming and all that stuff, all those podcasty costs that I don't understand because I don't have to.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, friendos, if you are a patron of the $5 tier,
Cheap.
you gain access to a special bonus episode that we record right after this, literally right after this, where we play games, crack-wise, having fun, doing all the stuff we can't do on the regular show. CJ,
Yeah.
do we have a game this week, this holiday week?
What I think we're going to do this week is it's going to be a game fan review game,
Okay.
but I haven't set it up beforehand. So I'm just going to
Oh,
be off
God.
the cuff reading the reviews. So
Oh.
if I mess up and say the name of the game accidentally, that'll get you free points.
This will go well.
This is going to go great.
Okay, so you will for those who might be tuning in for the first time
Mm.
in these review
CJ's
quizzes.
definitely going to screw up.
CJ's definitely going to screw it up.
Not definitely. No,
But what
No. No.
we do is CJ will dig up old video game magazines and read
Yeah.
video game reviews to Greg and myself, blanking out things like titles or company names,
Or
and we have to
character names.
guess
Yeah.
what the game is based on what is usually very minimal
Little
information.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
'Cause I know people pine for the old days of video game reviews, but let's
You won't
take
have
a
to listen
moment
to these.
no,
to recognize that
yeah.
back in the day, maybe they weren't so great
This is,
either.
this is less of a fun game and more of a
Can you believe?
this got printed in a nationwide
Yeah,
magazine.
Yeah.
But
But with love.
with love.
We revere these.
I mean, we used to work at places like this.
That's right. We did.
We're
Yeah.
just as guilty,
just as guilty, if not more so.
if not more so.
No, you guys maybe.
That's
That's also true.
hey, Bubsy doesn't climb back to the top of the yard ball unless I'm right
Yeah,
in the
CJ's
preview.
definitely the worst defender.
Hey, I'll tell you what, if you have a couple bucks left over, why don't you head over to patreon.com/Greg Seward That's Sewart with one T at the end. To help support Greg's outstanding, and it is outstanding, web series about North America's favorite runner-up, the Sega Genesis.
Thank you, Philip. And if you are a supporter of the $5 variety,
Also cheap.
you get access to the weekly commute, which is a vlog series that I do most weeks. I'm not doing one this week because, it's Christmas. Where I talk about the videos I'm working on, any projects I'm working on, really, as well as streaming on Twitch and going through my game collection, talking about some cool stuff in there, memories of being in the games press, looked at some old magazines. We looked at Nintendo Power Flash last week, which was the Canadian newsletter that you could get before and after Nintendo Power came to North America. It's just a collection of Nintendo Power pages put together in a pamphlet. It's a pretty cool look at them, though. And as a kid, it was amazing because you got to see names of people from places where you actually, were in your country. Not something you guys would be used to, because
I am James Cameron, here to talk to you about Super Mario Brothers 2.
Yep, that's right. Check out this cool code I found for Kickle Cubicle.
Is this the Kickle Cubicle code that brings on the cameo appearance by Kid Nicky Radical Ninja?
Yes.
Oh.
That's an actual code, by the way.
I believe you.
Yeah.
And also, I threw up a video today.
Oh,
posted
disgusting.
Which is a recap of one of our Play One podcast league races. Please go watch it.
Oh, I'm done
CJ. Now. CJ is just so happy with that.
CJ's delighted with the idea of Greg vomiting a video file.
That's right.
I wish it was that easy.
Are you imagining just like VHS tape spewing out of his mouth, or?
That sounds painful.
Of course. Why not? Yeah.
But there you go. Is that it?
That's it.
CJ, thank you.
What? Thank you, Phil.
Oh, thank you. Gregory.
Yo.
Thank you.
Congratulations on another year, guys.
We did it.
We did it.
Oh, yeah. I guess next week is our game of the year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Game of the year episode next week. Tune in for our first show of 2023, where we
30th anniversary of Ridge Racer.
Oh, finally.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe they should do a compilation.
Hey, good idea.
We'll discuss this more next time.
Yes.
Or Michael J. Micah.
Yeah. And of course, thank you. Yes, you are wonderful, wonderful listener. Every single one of you. Remember, as always, take care of yourself, your loved one, your family, your friends. Do what you got to do to be safe. I'll tell you what, if the roads are icy, stay off them. You got nowhere to be.
It's true.
And we hope to see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.